Hi, it's Russell Cummings from Shift. I wanted to talk to you today about how we could better onboard our new employees. One of the big challenges for many businesses is that we may recruit people really well, but often our onboarding, our starting them up in their job process is really haphazard. And I think that if we're going to focus on attracting and retaining good quality people, we need to start right on the right foot and get our people up to speed quickly. There's also, I guess, a cost to bringing on new employees, and the faster we can get them up to speed and get them productive, then the better return on investment we get for the time we've spent in that changeover or that recruiting of employees. So let's just talk through the simple model that I've developed. If you think about our current system, and this is generic, of course, but most businesses have limited contact prior to starting work. They say to the employee, yeah, you got the job, and then we don't talk to them again before they start, apart from giving them a start date. I think we can do a little bit more in that space and be a bit more proactive, and we'll talk a bit about that. Only the basics are covered. They turn up and we tell them, how to fill out a leave form, how to get sick leave, a few other things, and we don't really tell them too much else about the business. We get their pay details and some other stuff. We don't put a support system in place, so we don't buddy them up, we don't do anything else. There's no plan for what they're going to do when they get started. It's a bit ad hoc. There's generally poor organisation. I've had seen employees turn up and there's been no computer for them, and computer is integral to them doing their job. There's not been a computer set up for them, or the computer's there but the IT people haven't organised passwords and access for them and all that sort of stuff. So just some stuff there that makes new employees feel like they're starting on a pretty poor wicket, I think. The other thing is we often throw them in at the deep end, so that we often start them up and we just go, here you go and do your job, and we throw them in, no training, no instruction, everything else. Either that or we leave them alone and we don't give them enough authority and enough structure to get started quickly, and we will build up to that. It's often because our people are busy, so everybody's busy rushing around and we don't have time to bring people on board, and that's probably something that needs to change. So this is a quick video, but I've sort of built a model around 4 key areas in building a structured onboarding process. I think it's really important that they understand your business well, that they understand the history, and this is particularly important in family businesses. They understand the history of where this business has come from. They understand the unwritten rules, the things that are important to you and that define your culture, I guess. The values that the business lives by need to be really, made prominent, and this needs to be delivered by somebody senior in the organisation, if not one of the owners, should be doing this sort of history, unwritten rules and values piece of it. We need to give some instruction in what the full range of products and services is for our business. Often we fail to tell, particularly administration people, what the heck it is we do and how we do it. So it's a great idea to actually give them some information on the products and services we offer and why, and what our competitive advantage is, and then who are our major competitors in this space and what are they doing, so they have a full picture of what happens in the business. And I'm sure there'll be some other things that you want to include in that business discussions. We also need to give them some clear expectations around their role. We should have a role profile or position description that clearly defines what they need to do. We need to sit down with them and give them a 90-day plan. And when I say give them, probably work through a 90-day plan with them. So what do we expect of them in the first 90 days? There's a really good book called The First 90 Days that I'd recommend that you read, and we'll put in some notes somewhere for you. But what are they going to do in the first 90 days? What do we expect? What are our expectations of them? As starting up, what do we expect of them in this early period, particularly in that first 90 days? What authority will they have? I think it's really dangerous to bring on a brand new employee and give them maximum authority. So I'd be saying to them, well, let's be clear. We don't want you making any decisions that are going to impact the brand or profitability without at least conferring with somebody until you're really clear on the lay of the land. So you've got to lay those things out early. And then what are the review points? So when are we going to review? How are we going to review? All that sort of stuff. So make sure that's all really, really clear. We also need to do the standard admin stuff for them. HR stuff around leave and annual leave, sick leave, all that sort of stuff. Safety, they give them a safety briefing. What are the key HR policies that they need to understand, and giving them a copy of our policies and procedures. What equipment will they need? Make sure that we've given them the right equipment that they need to do the job, whether that's their PPE gear, could be special measuring devices, or I don't know what their job will be, but make sure they've got a full kit of equipment so they can do their job properly. That obviously will include a computer for most people. And then have they got access? So if you've got swipe card access to your business, make sure they've got swipe card access, car park access, computer access. What are all the passwords they're going to need to do their job properly? So they're really simple things, but often we overlook them, and it's great to put them into a bit of a pack. I think with some of this admin stuff, this is some of the stuff that you can do in advance. So think about the impact on a new employee. If they haven't even started yet, and you've already sent them an email and maybe an online form to fill out, so that you've collected all their preferred bank accounts for pay, got a lot of the admin stuff, their super fund, all that sort of stuff out of the way, maybe even what their preferred password would be for things. You can ask them all that stuff in advance, so that when they turn up, they already hit the ground running. And all of a sudden you start to sell your business and your brand well before they come on board. And the last part then is, how do we support them in this initial phase? So what support are you going to provide? You're going to provide a mentor. So a mentor is somebody who's a peer who's at the current similar level in the business or higher in the business, who's going to mentor them and somebody for them to go to. You're going to give them a buddy maybe for the first week or two, somebody to show them around show them the roles. What sort of training do they need? So is there any skills training, equipment training, software training? How do we train them in our systems and processes? So I would think a decent component of their first time at work is going to be some training, and that might include spending a week in each department as they come into the business. So for the first month, let's say you've got 4 departments in your business, they spend a week in each department really understanding what happens in that business. Okay, so that's the training part. And then some businesses that I work with, we're actually giving people a coach, an external coach often, who knows the business well and the players well, but can actually coach them and guide them through their 90-day plan and help them in that implementation phase. All right, so they're the 4 phases of that onboarding process that I think we need to think through. Now, obviously, we need to if you think about the next step is for you to build your onboarding plan. Build it and make sure it's a process and a system, and that everybody knows what they have to do and who's responsible for delivering what parts of it within your business, and set some KPIs around it so that when a new person comes on board, that a certain phase is completed within, before they start, on the first day, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you have your people aligned. So when a new employee is starting, often the first time new team members know about it is on the day when that employee starts up, or maybe on the Friday before they come on the Monday. If we're going to have this onboarding process, people need to know well in advance so they can schedule out some time to do the important things to get our new team members up and away. All right, I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, please just contact me via email. Happy to help you out. If you want some more information on how to grow your business and take it to that next level, just visit our website at shift.com.au with the 2 Fs. We've got lots of videos, webinars, blog articles, some free diagnostic tools, a whole heap of stuff there to help you take your business to that next level. Thanks very much. Have a great day.